In this video, we're going to talk about acceleration. Mathematical formula of acceleration is very close to velocity. By definition, now instead of d, change in velocity. To show that, I actually calculated. So the exact same examples in the previous videos. So what happens to velocity? We already learned that. As long as there is change in positions and change in positions, there will be a velocity. It's just a matter of how much, which is the magnitude, in which direction. In this case, the position changes in the positive direction. You see the positive velocity. Okay, what happens to acceleration? Acceleration is change in velocity. You see the up spike over here. This is because the velocity changed from 0 to positive velocity, right? So therefore, there is a positive change in acceleration. After the velocity changed, so you maintain the constant pace, constant velocity for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes. And when you look at the acceleration, it's 0. So when you see a zero acceleration, it doesn't mean something is not moving. It could mean acceleration 0 and velocity is 0. When the displacement is 0, so there's no motion, then there would be no velocity and there will be no acceleration. But when you see acceleration equals 0, that's not the only option. There is another option, which is this. Regardless positive or negative, acceleration is not changing, right? When there is no change in velocity, even though something is actually moving, acceleration will give you 0. So there are two options. Okay, another really big difference between the relationship between displacement and velocity is displacement is only going to the positive direction. Therefore, you see velocity only goes to the positive direction until it stops. However, acceleration can go to negative even though the direction is going to the positive direction. So this is very different from velocity. Why is that? Because when a thing is moving in the positive direction, and the positive acceleration means increase in velocity, so speeding up. When an object is moving to the positive direction again, and you see a negative acceleration, that means it's something the object is slowing down, so decelerating. This up spike is called the positive acceleration, and this is called negative acceleration. However, this doesn't necessarily mean something is always speeding up or slowing down. It actually depends on the direction. Where the direction is positive, and then acceleration is positive. Positive times positive is positive. Therefore, it is speeding up. When the direction and acceleration, when the direction is positive, but you are actually acceleration is negative. It, so positive times negative means slowing down. Okay, so what would be a different situation? So let's study the situation where you change the displacement to the negative direction. You're going from the positive direction to a negative direction. So because you change the position in the negative direction, the velocity, when you see the velocity curve, you see the exact opposite. But again, it has nothing to do with speeding up or slowing down. Again, the term speeding up or slowing down has something to do with the acceleration. How do we determine whether this downward spike is speeding up and this upward spike is slowing down? Again, you do the sign multiplication. So when the direction is going to the negative direction, however, the acceleration is also negative, you not multiply the signs, negative minus times negative. Now it gives you a positive sign. When the direction is negative, the positive actually indicates speeding up. When the direction is negative, and now you see the positive deflection in the acceleration curve, that means negative times positive, therefore you are slowing down. So here's the summary. When acceleration is zero, you have two different options. One, displacement and velocity are also zero, or velocity is constant. So it could be positive or it could be negative, but if velocity is not changing over time, that moment you should see the acceleration is zero. To see whether the object is moving or not, you cannot just understand from the acceleration information. You have to consult with velocity or displacement. Another big thing we talked about today is the indication of positive and negative acceleration. So acceleration is the one that gives you information whether something is speeding up or slowing down. However, sign independently cannot give you that information. You have to consult on another information, which is the direction and acceleration multiplication. Okay, so in summary, if the direction is positive, right? But the acceleration gives you a positive, you do a multiplication of the sign positive. This indicates speeding up. And if the acceleration is negative, but the direction is positive, negative times positive, negative, which gives you the indication of slowing down. So when it comes to the positive direction, it's very intuitive. Positive means speeding up, negative means slowing down. However, when the direction of the object is going to the negative direction, you have to flip the interpretation of the sign of the acceleration. If the acceleration gives you positive when the direction is going negative, it's speeding up. Direction is negative and acceleration negative, negative times negative gives you a positive sign, which means slowing down. And regardless of this slowing down, speeding up, positive value of A is known as positive acceleration, and negative sign of acceleration is known as negative acceleration.